All right, awesome. So with that, we'll start off with some introductions. So I will go first. My name is Taylor Brewer. I am the leasing professional for Scott Campus Housing. Basically, what I'm in charge of is I oversee the lease signing process here. So once Demaya sends down the housing applications that are offered for Scott Campus, I'm the one who is in charge of offering them lease agreements and then also building the floor plan, and then I'm also in charge of roommate assignments and then overseeing that general leasing email that you inquire about and kind of email if you have any questions.
Hi, my name's Demaya Valdivia. I am the housing operations coordinator. So my role is to filter and sort through all of our housing applications that we receive. Like Taylor mentioned, I communicate with her for the Scott Campus applicants. And then I do the housing assignments for Dodge Campus. So that is room and roommates. And I also oversee our main housing email address.
Awesome. Cool. So, like we said before, this presentation is just going to be making sure that you've checked all the boxes to ensure that your move in goes smoothly. One thing, just a little housekeeping. Please hold your questions until the end. We're going to have this big like Q&A section where you can just put questions into the chat and we'll kind of go through and read those off. So, like we said, just hold your questions until the end. We are going to be providing you with a lot of fun and a lot of information. So just make sure you hold those until the end and then we'll make sure to get to you. All right, let's go on.
All right, so before you move in, we want to go over the housing reservation checklist just to make sure you have everything you need in order to move on campus. So the first step would be to complete your UNO housing application. That would be submitted through your Mavlink account. There is a $200 security deposit and a $60 non-refundable application fee when you're going through the application. There is an option to defer that to 60 if you would like, and then we would add that to your Mavlink account. But as long as you submit your application and complete it, that will be processed regardless. So keep that in mind. We want to make sure that you signed your 2024 and 2025 lease agreement. So make sure if you received an offer that you signed it to ensure your space and housing for the fall. If you are a Scott Campus resident, we want to make sure that both the student and guarantor sign both their portions to complete their lease offer. If you are a Dodge Campus resident and you are under 18, you do need a proxy signature. So please make sure you are getting that done so your contract is complete. Anyone under the age of 18 was notified and sent a form. So please get that signed and returned to us. We do need that for both Scott and Dodge Campus residents before you can move on to campus. So if you have questions about that, please let us know. But we do need that form back. RoomSync was the app that we used to match roommates. And so that app closed on June 15th. So we are now just taking roommate requests via email. We do ask that you wait until you receive a contract offer before you send in that email request, just so we can make sure that you're in the same lease type as the person you're requesting to room with, and those are never guaranteed. So this month, students should be receiving their housing welcome letter. That will include your room placement, your roommate assignment and information, and then our move-in guide and a sign up time. So please make sure you are clicking that link to sign up for a day and time to move in and going through and making sure everything, is done that the letter is asking you to do.
Awesome. So now we'll kind of talk about like when we refer to like signing up for a move-in date slash time. Since we are two different campuses, we do have different processes for that. So we want to make sure that you're well informed of the sign up process for move-in for your campus that you're living in. Demaya, I don't know, did you want to talk about Dodge Campus's move-in process first?
Yeah, I can cover that. So for Dodge Campus residents, we already sent out the link. The welcome letter was already sent. That was last week. You should have received that. And that email included a link, a Sign Up Genius link to sign up for a day and time to move in. So for Dodge Campus, we are doing move-in dates August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So you need to sign up for a day and time to move in. You will get a confirmation email for the date and time that you signed up for, and then you'll get another email reminder the week before move-in to remind you of the day and time that you signed up for.
Awesome. So for Scott campus residents, we haven't quite sent out our housing welcome letter yet. But once you do, it'll have that sign up link. Like Dodge campus, we also use and we partner with Sign Up Genius, and that basically will have certain time slots. That'll have that link along with a specific passcode that your student is going to use to sign up for that specific time slot. One thing is, my best advice once you receive that housing welcome letter via email, I recommend that you access that sign up link fast. Certain time slots can go quick. So with that, they're 30-minute time slots, and you'll get a specific code to get into there. And then if you can see in that red box in the bottom right, our move-in dates, it really depends on what property you're living in. So make sure you know what lease type you have and where you're living. For Scott Hall, their move-in date is scheduled for August 17th. And then for Scott Crossing, Court, and Village residents, our move-in is August 18th. Okay, so now that you know how to sign up for a time to move in, we want to make you aware of the items that we recommend to bring versus the ones that we suggest you leave at home. So we compiled a list here of like our, I guess like our frequently asked items. So our biggest recommendations, we recommend you bring anything twin XL size. That's the size of our bed. So obviously the mattress, all that fun stuff will be there. However, think about like a mattress pad, your sheets, and your pillow. It's going to be twin XL size there. So be prepared for that. Also, on-campus housing is not going to be similar to a hotel. You will be required to bring your own toiletries and cleaning supplies. And then also, we have things such as kitchen supplies. We do provide the full appliances, such as like a microwave, an oven, a stove, a refrigerator, dishwasher, fun stuff like that if you're in a full kitchen apartment style suite. But you're going to need to bring your own smaller appliances. So like an air fryer, if you want like a fun little Keurig maker, all of that stuff. So make sure you bring those. TVs, stereos, alarm clocks, all of that fun stuff is also something that you'll have to bring. Some of the things we recommend you leave at home are going to be anything with an open flame. So common ones are candles / like incense burners, anything like that. We ask you please leave at home. Another big thing that we get is how do we hang stuff up on the wall? So per policy, we don't allow large nails or command strips. They are not accepted. Instead of using those, what we allow is using a 10 gauge or less size nail or push pins instead. Other things are, we are a dry campus here at UNO, so that means no alcoholic beverages, no tobacco, anything like that. And then another big thing that we've seen maybe in these coming years, we don't allow any type of motorized vehicle to be stored in your dorm. So some common ones are hoverboards, those electric scooters, motorcycles, anything like that. You can't store them inside of the unit just because they're a fire safety hazard. If you have something maybe that you're questioning or you're not sure whether you should bring or leave it, feel free to email our office once you've gotten that housing welcome letter or anything like that. And still you're unsure if, hey, I have a specific item that I'm not sure about, feel free to email us. We'll definitely help you out there. And all of that fun stuff. So yeah. Okay. So now that we've talked about some of the items to consider and everything like that, bring and leave behind, I also wanted to mention some things you might want to consider before purchasing some of those items that you plan to bring. So a big thing is you're going to have roommates while living here. Your common areas will be shared with them. If each one of you buys every single item for the space, you're going to end up with no cabinet space whatsoever. Too much stuff and not enough space. So I would recommend discussing before you buy. So on there, I have perfect examples of which roommate is going to bring the stuff for the living room. So things like you'll want to consider the decorations, the lamp, the TV. Then for the kitchen, right? Some of the common things that you are all going to use within the kitchen, pots and pans, dishes, cleaning supplies, all of that fun stuff. And maybe considering for the bathroom, if you're going to share it with another individual or more, who's sharing the paper towels? Are we sharing hand towels? Are we sharing soap for the bathroom? Or is that something you want to do on your own? Those are definitely conversations that I recommend you have with your roommates before you step foot into move-in day. Also, another thing, I also recommend that you talk about your own comfortability. If you know you aren't comfortable sharing items like a hairdryer, make sure you disclose this to avoid future issues about shared belongings within the unit. always talk about things before you get in there. It always helps in the long run. So yeah. Okay. So now I kind of wanted to steer towards meal plan information. So most of our units have like a full kitchen, some do not. However, if you're considering, like I'm thinking about purchasing a meal plan, I don't know how much I'm going to make food or anything like that. Here's the meal plan specifically for Scott campus. So with that, anyone can sign up. There's no deadline to apply. And then also when using that prepaid meal plan, you can use it at 3 of the locations located only on Scott campus. So that first one is the Scott Cafe. It's like an unlimited buffet style type. PKI Express and then the Campus Grind are more of your to-go items where you can get like a nice little latte, smoothie, to-go pizzas and sandwiches and stuff like that. So with that, there are weekday and weekend hours available for there. So like I was saying before, a lot of our apartments are like apartment style units. However, if you're in a traditional style unit, it already includes a meal plan. So I don't want you to double up and like sign up for one if you already have them. If you're questioning whether a meal plan is included in your lease agreement or not, feel free to email us. We'd be happy to tell you which one it is or not. I also have in the bottom left there just the different meal plan tiers. So there are different prices, and these are per semester. So we have the 80, the 120, this 160, and then also the all access meal plans. If you have any questions about the meal plan or anything specific, I definitely recommend reaching out to our info@scottcafe.com. That's going to be our Scott Dining Services, and they would be the best resource to help you out with all of that fun stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so Dodge Campus is now offering a meal plan option as well. This is really new, but anyone can sign up for it. So students have the option to use it on Dodge campus in the Malabelle Student Center, which would include a couple different food options. We have a food court in there. We have Chick-fil-A coming to campus soon, so like that would be an included option. We also have the Chris Library, which offers a Starbucks, and then Health and Kinesiology Building, which is Shake Smart. So there are a couple different options that you can use this dining dollar plan for. So students have to enroll in this option between now and September 15th. So after that September 15th deadline, you can't enroll for it until the following year. So if you are like wanting to start, living on campus, kind of figure out what you want to do, you have a little bit of time to kind of decide if you want to enroll into this option. And then if you go ahead and do enroll, then your plan starts on August 26th. So down below on the left-hand side are the options for it. So there are 3 different options. And this is the price for the academic year. So you can't use this option for the summer. If you would like to get more information or if you would like to enroll in the plan itself, you can scan the QR code or you can email our MAV card services because they are the ones who are overseeing this dining dollar option on Dodge campus.
Campus is 8. Do we know, Scott?
All right, now time to talk about something a little bit different than like housing. So when it comes to the bookstore, sorry, I'm trying to meet people. Okay. So when it comes to the bookstore, students can order books. So those go on sale August 1st, which is coming up really soon. So you can order online or you can go in person to the actual bookstore and rent the books that you're needing for the fall semester. You can go on your Mavlink account and find the actual textbooks that are needed for the classes you're enrolled in. So once you go to Mavlink, you'll click on View All Books, and then you can search by the title or the ISBN number, or you can also search by the term, department, course, and section. So the bookstore does this cool service that they offer, which is delivering books to residential halls. So if you order books, you can get them delivered free to your residence hall if you'd like to, or you can go in store and pick them up. So we have a couple of different options if you are looking to go ahead and start ordering your books for the fall semester. And again, if you have any questions, you can contact the bookstore directly and they can assist you with any information you're needing.
My thing totally glitched. I'm sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about MavCard services. So one of the most important things to bring with you on our move-in day is your MavCard. So your MavCard, and I kind of have a picture of it in that like mid right corner. It's going to be like your Nebraska identification card. So while you're here at UNO, you just show that. Even at like sporting events, if you go to that, you'll want to have that bad boy on you. So make sure that you're obtaining that MavCard. So when we're here, there are multiple ways to get your MavCard. If you aren't in the area or just want to enjoy the convenience of doing it online, you will have to download the Get app and complete the instructions online. If you would prefer to go in person to get your MavCard, we recommend you just visit those MavCard services office. They will also be open during our move-ins over the weekend. So if you just kind of want to do it all in one day, that'll be more information for Scott campus, at least coming out in like the housing welcome letter. But they'll be open, so you'll be able to get it that move-in day, all of that fun stuff there. If you have any questions regarding that process, I'm definitely not an expert on how to get your MavCard. I recommend just reaching out to UNO MavCard services. And when you do reach out to them, if you could provide your full name and then also your NUID, that would help them better assist you so they can search you up easier. Yeah. Okay. So another thing that we want to talk about is if you're planning to bring a vehicle while living on campus, you're going to need to make sure that it's registered with our UNO Parking Services office. So these parking permits go on sale right on August 1st, and they're going to cost $286 for the entire year. When these go on sale, you can purchase it online through their service called MavPark. And there's going to be a link for it like on their UNO Parking Services website. My recommendation is go right and purchase it on August 1st. They do run out, so just be careful. Another thing is you can only purchase a permit for your specific residence hall that you're living in. So we have received some like commonly like asked questions of, I'm going to live on Scott campus, but I want a parking permit for Dodge campus. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You'll only have that permit for your specific residence hall that you're living in. So here on this slide, we do have the different permits that are going to be valid. So for Dodge campus residents, the permit that you're going to purchase is going to be valid for the West Garage and Lot L. After 5 p.m., all of those permits, you can park in any general use stall in the garage or the surface lots. For Scott campus residents, it really just depends on where you're at. So we have a Scott surface and a Scott garage. So for our Scott surface lots, it's going to be our Scott Court, Hall, and Village residents. And then our Scott parking garage, which is also called the Pacific Street parking garage, is for our Scott Crossing and Scott Hall residents. All of these are gated, so you're going to need to have the access. And that's why I said you're going to have that MavCard on you. It's because you're going to have to key into the gate to those parking areas. Access will be provided for that on move-in day when you're there. And that's why it's so important to have your MavCard, just because you'll need access to your room and also parking. So yeah. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this. We're just kind of making sure that you guys are provided with all the information and checking off the boxes to make sure you're ready to go for move in. But the best people to contact would be that UNO Parking Services office. So I've included their email also in that red box down there. Like I said, easiest way to get them, email, also include your full name and NUID, and then what are your questions, and they'll be able to help you there. Okay. Another thing that we wanted to provide you with was your specific mailing address. Parents, this is going to be good for you to save if you plan on sending your student any packages or mail. So with that, your mailing address depends on which residence hall you're going to be living in. Each have a specific property. Don't stress. These addresses will also be provided in the move-in guide sent to students in their housing welcome letter. So for Dodge campuses, you've most likely already received that address information, all of that fun stuff. And then for Scott campus residents, that should be coming later this week. So yeah. Okay. Another thing that we wanted to mention is the cancellation policy. So one thing that we do understand is other opportunities arise and then situations change. So you can absolutely cancel your lease at any time. The only way that we take cancellations is through email. So you can specifically email that UNO Housing at UNOmaha with that request. We only accept email cancellations. Phone or from your parent is not accepted. We need it from the student and through email just so we have written documentation. Within that email, you'll always want to include your full name, your NUID, and then also your intent to cancel. So with that, if you are canceling a contract that has been signed, you will be required to adhere to the UNO Housing and Residence Life cancellation policy. So from now until July 31st, the housing cancellation policy states that you're going to forfeit that $200 security deposit that you paid when you first applied for UNO, and then also will be required to pay a $750 lease termination fee. One thing there, we kind of have an asterisk right there. Even if you chose when you submitted your UNO housing application to defer that $260 fee you had to pay, even if you chose to defer that to your fall account, you will still owe the deposit if you decide to cancel. Awesome.
All right, so what's next? So like we mentioned, the welcome letters for Dodge campus have already been sent out. It looks like Scott campus residents should be receiving those next week, I believe is what Taylor said.
It'll be, honestly, I got it done, so I'm so happy. So it's going to be tomorrow or Friday is when you should receive that.
Ooh, exciting. So
Right.
everyone should have their welcome letter by the end of this week. July 31st, like Taylor mentioned in the last slide, that is the last day to cancel your contract or lease. After that date, you will be liable for 50% of the contract itself. So if you are still unsure, or if you are, making those decisions, try to do that before July 31st so you don't have to pay that 50%. And then here are the move-in dates again for Dodge campus. That would be Maverick Village and University Village, August 22nd through the 24th. If you're a Scott Hall resident, that will be August 17th. And then Scott Crossing, Scott Court, and Scott Village will move in on August 18th.
Awesome. All right, so now this is where we'll kind of go through all of our fun little questions. So if you want to start typing in the chat, basically we're just going to do the first ones that come in and then we'll keep going down. If you have any questions like specifically like tailored to your like on-campus housing experience that may not benefit other people, honestly, we would probably just prefer an email just regarding your individual housing request. And so that's why we have that email up there. That's going to be our general housing email. So yeah, throw any questions down and we'll kind of answer them as best as we can. And then we'll kind of go from there. But if you don't want to stay for the Q&A, totally understand. We thank you for your time and appreciate you coming out. So Demaya, I think I have someone who's like, hey, I signed a lease agreement. They signed it like 2 days ago and they haven't received their housing welcome letter. They're basically like, what do I do now?
Yeah. So if you signed after the 17th, which is when I sent the initial bulk of the welcome letters out, you haven't received yours yet. I was going through and making changes and switches for residents who already signed. And so you'll receive that letter by the end of this week. But like I said, those haven't went out to students who just signed this week. RoomSync is closed, so you will not have access to RoomSync at this time. If you do have a roommate that you would like to room with, you can send that request in via email, but there's no guarantee as pretty much all of our spaces have been assigned to students, but feel free to email us if you have someone you'd like to room with.
Love it. Awesome. And then someone said, you said move-in is 30-minute time slots. Is that correct? And then also, what does that mean? Demaya, does that apply to Dodge campus as well, those 30-minute time slots?
Yeah, we have 30-minute time slots too.
Cool. So with that 30-minute time slot, and it'll kind of go more in depth when you get your housing welcome letter, that 30-minute time slot is literally just to come pick up your keys and all of your housing information. Once you get that key and all of that information, you can move in at any time at your leisure. That 30-minute time slot is literally just to come pick things up. After that, you can decide, if your parents are coming at a later date and are helping you haul everything, totally fine. But yeah, that time slot is just to kind of pick up your stuff. And then after that, it's on you.
So for example, right, we are using production server for development.
You have a link for the layouts of the rooms.
That is a technical that
We have housing
Well, I would say-
tours. Let me see if I can pull up the browser for it. I'm gonna need to search for a second. Oh, wrong link. Oh,
What is the end state we want to get to, right? So then,
so someone asked just regarding the link for all of the layouts. We do have virtual tours and they're going to be located. I put it in a link in that chat. It'll have a virtual tour of every single floor plan that we have offered. So just make sure that you're looking at the one that maybe you were offered in your contract, just to make sure you're looking at the right one. How does the shuttle system work between Dodge campus and Scott campus? That's such a good question. So if you're, regardless of if you even live on campus or not, as a UNO student, you do have access to their free shuttle transportation system. With that, it runs every 10 to 12 minutes and it goes through specific routes. They do have an app that will also have information in that move-in guide for. It'll tell you all the different routes, the different times, and then also you can download an app that'll have a shuttle tracker. So if you're like me, I was born and raised in Florida. I'm used to that hot weather. I am not used to the Nebraska winter. So I would always, like when I was a resident, I would always just wait inside the building, look at that shuttle tracker. If I noticed it was coming up, I would run out of the building and then go there. So with that, just kind of making sure that you're checking all of that, just have good time management skill, everything like that, and it'll be good. But yeah, if you haven't gotten your move-in guide yet, anything like that, it will be in that move-in guide for how that shuttle system will work. Yeah. The Scott social with the phone numbers being incorrect, I think it maybe was a data issue, just from our like Excel system. But with that, we double checked the floor plan. Everything should be going out correctly in that housing welcome letter that they'll receive. Double check it once it's sent out tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure I got it resolved. So thank you for bringing it to my attention. I definitely remember you, Jay. Can you go back to the mailing address slide? Of course I can. Like we said, it'll also be, oh, I missed it. Hello. It'll also be in that move-in guide that you'll get, but this is definitely good for parents. So I'll leave it up here for a couple of minutes. We had a question, can you bring a small refrigerator for your bedroom? Mini fridges for us are allowed. As long as you're not bringing like a full refrigerator into your room, we're good. We're good. Oh, someone said that their son has an electric keyboard. I recall seeing no instruments. Can he bring it? We get that people are music majors, everything like that. They're going to bring instruments. We do have quiet hours. So as long as they're not like blaring it and being loud, at night hours or anything like that, I don't see it being a problem of actually being physically within the room. It would be maybe a policy violation if he was like blasting or blaring and playing like later at night. So as long as he's respectful about it and mindful, that's fine. Typically, we kind of say that just because we've had students who have brung amplifiers and like haven't really been respectful with people's noise levels. So yeah, not a problem there. But with that, yeah, he can bring it. Just make sure he's using it at right times. How do we access a copy of the signed housing lease? We can send you a copy of it via email. Just email us and we can get you a copy of that. Can you post the parking information again for Scott campus? Yes. Let's see. There you go. Are there bus routes from Scott campus to Dodge campus? Yes, there will be. Like I said, they have the different routes, but they go in between each campus. Is there a laundry room in Scott Court? Yes, there should be laundry rooms like in all of our properties, or at least offered to all of our properties. If I use the nails you specified to hang up decorations, am I responsible for patching them at the end of the year? I'll speak for Scott campus, Demaya. I'm not too sure if you're kind of aware of that. I say no, please don't patch them. We have like on-call maintenance and housekeeping that do work and like turn and prepare those rooms once people check in and out of them. So please do not. We would actually probably prefer our staff to do it, just because we don't want to cause any problems or anything, and they do have those processes already ready. We understand that people hang up decorations. We know you want to make your dorm room super cute. So no, you won't be responsible for patching those up. So Can we
Yeah, I would,
request? Oh,
oh, I was gonna say same goes for
yes.
Dodge Campus. Yeah, I said you probably not patch those up. And like
Yeah.
Taylor said, we'll just take care of that once you are moved out of your room.
Yes. Can we request a tour? Yeah, if you just want to email in, we can definitely schedule something, or at this point, just kind of walk into one of our offices or anything like that, and we can kind of get one out. We do take walk-ins for tours, all of that fun stuff there. So, can can we bring girls in our room? So with our campus, we do have co-ed housing. Not that they're living together, but like they may be in the same hallway or something like that. Um, it really just depends on your roommates and their comfortability. In the beginning of the year, you will have like a designated resident assistant. So that's like a peer. They're also a student here at UNO where they normally handle and connect with residents in a certain building or a certain floor. And before, I would say like the first week or second week, they'll have what's called like a roommate agreement meeting. And basically, that's where they'll get all of you and all of your roommates together and they'll have a conversation about things like that. What are you all comfortable with guests in the room? Are you comfortable with them? About cleaning, what's our schedule for cleaning? Who's going to be responsible for what and everything like that. So those conversations will be facilitated and will be crafted for each individual experience, I would say. Demaya, do you agree?
Yeah, Dodge Campus goes through the exact same process. So you kind of have those conversations beforehand, like Taylor said, with your roommates. But guests are allowed, to come to rooms. Just
Yes.
again, check with your roommates and everything with that.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor, I think someone asked before that if
Oh, sorry.
they have to set up cable and internet services.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see that. So for our campuses, like we provide the internet. I don't believe we offer cable services anymore. So we only provide internet. I definitely recommend maybe getting like a smart TV where you can just get like a bunch of the apps. Like I used a Roku TV when I was here and it did just fine because I could connect to Netflix and everything like that. So good question. Where do we go to get a meal plan? It really depends on if you want a Scott campus one or a Dodge campus one. But yeah, sorry. I'll try and, so this is the Dodge one. You can scan the QR code there. I'll put it up for like 20 seconds.
And someone did ask me if the Dodge Dining Dollars was included in like a contract or lease. That's a good question because it's not. So this is something you have to individually go in and enroll for.
Love it. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the Scott campus meal plan if you want to sign up for that. We'll keep it up there for a second. What is the name of the app to get a MAV card? It is the Get app. I'll include like a link to the website that maybe has like a link or like more information on that. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't gone through that process of like obtaining the MAV card that way myself, so I'm not really aware of, I guess, telling you this is exactly where to go, this is exactly how to get there. But I have online instructions on how to do so. And like with this link that I'm gonna provide to you, it's going to have the different links on how to download the app. You can upload it via the web browser or through iPhone. You can use the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. So it depends on what you got there. Yeah. Okay, I have a Dodge campus question for you, Demaya. For Dodge campus at night, does it have a time the doors close or can you come in at any time?
That's a good question. So our clubhouses, which would be like the main entrance or like where the office is, those are not attached to the actual buildings itself. So we don't have a time or like a curfew for students because you access your buildings like individually through like outside.
Love it. Yeah, like same with most of our properties, except for like our clubhouse or our leasing office. Like those, like our normal business hours, 8 to 5, those are unlocked. But like our actual like property and residence halls, like they remain locked at all points where you need key card access to it. So, okay. I had a question from what time? Oh, wait, I think I skipped a question. Sorry. We move in on the 18th. Do most people stay in their dorms until school starts or do they head home and come back when class starts? So this person is referring to the Scott campus move-in date of the August 18th. I would say most people stay in their dorms, just because we have like welcome week events and everything that that will be happening. And it's just kind of nice to have that like week before classes start on the 26th to kind of prepare. But also, like I said, it really depends on your experience and what you prefer. But when people get their keys on the 18th, normally they're starting to decorate or starting to meet new people, come into those events and everything like that. So in order to get, I think, a better on-campus housing experience, I would recommend staying. And then what time does the shuttle run? Let me see what I can find you here on this website. I know it gets different. We're in the summer, so they're not running. They're limited, I guess, in their running for right now. I'm going to give you this link, and then towards the bottom, so I'm going to give you this link. It's the shuttle services, so it'll have like every single thing on there. It'll give you like all the way towards the bottom. There's going to be a table of like the main routes, everything like that, and their hours of operation. Right now it's the summer, so it's limited, but the nice thing about it is since it is like a university shuttle system, they're going to take into consideration when all of the main buildings or when all of the classes are getting out and closed. So a nice thing was like I would always go to the library. Even though I was a Scott campus resident, I was always going to the Dodge campus library. Well, during dead week and finals week and all of that stuff, the library actually extends their hours just because everyone's studying super late at night. And so since they did that, then the shuttle also decided to run late too. So if things are open, if buildings are open on campus and everything's running, so will the shuttle. So let's see. If we have visitors, where would they park? It really just depends on where you're living. I definitely recommend maybe like when you move in, we can refer you to a better spot. But it really just depends on like the property you're going to be living in. I know there's like parallel parking and kind of like public parking garages here, like by us, since our Scott campus is by Exarban Village. But like I said, it depends on the property you're in. So yeah. Sorry, I'm putting on chapstick. Is there cable in bedrooms? There is not. We do not provide cable service. When should I start changing my address for everything? I recommend doing it on your move-in day. Yeah, that's when you start living there. And so that's when I would start changing your address so you can receive mail and packages. Where do we pay for Scott campus housing? It really just depends. Since that it is kind of like an individual situation, it really just depends on the housing option, like the payment method you chose on your lease. Definitely reach out to our email and I can let you know how to pay. How much does the laundry cost? So I'll speak for Scott campus laundry cost. Demaya, do you want to say for Dodge campus residents real fast?
Yeah, so Dodge campus residents, you don't have to pay for laundry. You can go in and use the machines for free, but you do have to provide like your own detergent and, cleaning supplies to use the machines.
Yep. With Scott campus, we do require that it's going to be $1.75 per load. So you can load up money on your MAV card. It's called MAV money, or you can choose to bring some quarters there. Yeah. How walk-in prices work. I'm assuming you're meaning for that meal plan up here for walk-ins. I'm hoping. Let me know. Walk-in prices, like if you're just wanting to like walk in and get like one meal and not have like a prepaid meal plan, or anything like that, normally it would just, they would take the money card, anything like that, that's accepted there, and you'd be able to eat. How does meal plans work for individuals of the Buffett? Wow, I bombed that one. I'm sorry. How do meal plans work for individuals with the Buffett scholarship?
So I will say that Buffett scholarship recipients are housed in University Village, which a meal plan does not come with that contract type. So again, you would have to enroll in a meal plan option or go purchase a meal plan if that's what you're wanting to do. But as far as like if your scholarship covers that, I'm not sure. I would talk to your scholarship provider on that information.
Yeah. I have a question about the Dodge Dining Dollars. If you get one of the Dodge Dining Dollars plans, can you add more money through the year?
So from my understanding, once you enroll in the plan, like that's your set plan for the year, but you can add money to your MAV card and you can, pay with food, through that option. So I don't think it's the dining dollar plan you can add money to specifically, but you can add money to your MAV card.
Let's see. If you have a meal plan for Scott campus, can you add money to your MAV card to purchase food on Dodge campus? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Like I said, you can load up MAV money, it's called, and basically like it's just like a balance on your card that you can just scan for your MAV card. So yeah, no, you can absolutely do that. Good question. Do you have to pay the first 2 months for the housing? Yes, but I would email. I'm not really sure what you're meaning, like by like specifically 2 months. So it really just depends on what you put on your lease contract for your housing payment. If you have any questions regarding how to pay or what is owed or anything like that, definitely reach out to our office and then we'll be able to help you out there. I'm also going to go back to our email just so they have it. If anyone needs any other slide, just let me know. I have do the Dodge Dining Dollars roll over to the next semester if you don't use them all during the first semester?
Yeah, so whichever plan you enroll in is for the academic year. So it'll be for the fall and spring semesters.
Cool. I think we got through. Send those questions and everything like that. I think we're at the bottom. So we'll kind of just be here and kind of waiting for some additional questions to
I think Taylor cut out. So yeah, if you have any additional questions, go ahead and put those in the chat box and we'll be happy to get to those. We'll hang on a little bit longer, just see if anyone has any other questions.
yeah. I'm staying on for hi Demaya, welcome back. Did you crash? Oh, you're muted. Hold on. We do have a question. We're just staying on for a couple of minutes, Sandy, do not worry. So we'll be here. But what's up?
Okay, so if so my child has only heard from like one roommate, but there should be others in that room.
Yeah.
Is there a certain place he should be going to see all the roommates, or will that also be in your welcome package?
Are you a Scott campus
A
or
Scott Crossing.
Perfect. So the one thing they probably attended the summer social and just had that information. So that was just kind of tentative and everything like that. Once we send out those official housing welcome letters, should get all of that information back there. So when I send that out either tomorrow or Friday, your
Yep.
students should get that in their email and that should be updated there. And are you saying he got like phone numbers and they just haven't been responding or?
So he's only been communicating with one roommate, and he didn't go to the summer because we're out in Connecticut.
Got it.
And so I don't know how he tracked down this one. And then I said, well, what about the rest? And he goes, I don't know. So I
Yes.
said, it must
So-
be somewhere.
Yeah. So I'm thinking probably that one person that reached out to him came to the summer social and maybe like, for example, the other ones didn't yet. And so they
Oh.
haven't gotten their information.
Yep.
So like I said, that email will go out to every single resident coming in.
Yep.
And so then your son will also be provided with that information and he can reach out to the other ones as well. So
All
Yeah.
right, thank you.
yeah, no problem. Thanks for checking.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to type very hard because the time is
problem.
running out.
Not a problem at
So
all.
my daughter received some kind of physics scholarship or something. So my question to you is, like I don't know like how that works, because
Sure.
it said that they are going to pay for the housing and the
Sure.
meals or whatever, but who gives the money for it? I know we pay the deposit, etc.
Yeah.
But is it being automatically taken care of, or should we pay and then they pay us, or how does it work?
So I don't think you should be required to pay or anything like that. If it's posted on your Mavlink account should show a balance because we've already started like posting housing charges for Scott campus at this point. But
I see.
also there is like all of your financial aid, like all of that stuff that's going to be like grants, scholarships, like you've said,
Oh,
will
good.
be applied. They may just not
Okay.
be applied quite yet. Um,
Okay.
but I recommend you don't have to pay that all. If you know that it's going to be covered by a specific scholarship or anything like that, I would recommend maybe reaching out to that specific scholarship program. If they're the ones responsible for that room and board area, I wouldn't stress about it too hard, just because it's still very early on for fall stuff to be due and billed and everything like that. So it most likely is they just haven't posted those scholarships informations quite yet on there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure where it's going, but I always recommend maybe that you reach out to that scholarship program and just double check with them how they go about it.
I see. So I think my daughter has access to the MAV account, so
Yeah,
probably I should start with her, starting
definitely.
to take a look at it and then reach out if she has any questions, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely recommend that.
Okay. Now, I am just curious, all these campuses, various the crossing, they have a main lock at the building, and then there will be a common lock at the unit they are assigned, and they can also lock their bedrooms, right?
That is correct. Yep. So we have the building lock, and that's like through key card access through your MAV card. And then we have
Okay.
the main apartment door for her unit that's going to be
Okay.
locked. That also requires a key access. And then everyone gets a private bedroom and they get an actual like physical bedroom key, and that locks as well. So yeah, 3 ways to kind of have that key access and kind of lock those
Yeah. So
stuff.
3 layers of security. That makes me
Exactly. Yes.
feel good.
Yes, exactly, right? We need it.
And one more question is like in terms of the parking lots, are
Mhm.
the parking lots like how does that work during
Sure.
winters? Like, will there be a like? I know you talked about garage and also the surface, so I'm not sure what the difference is. Like, will there be any garages also that we can book?
So yes, there is the Pacific Street parking garage for Scott campus, and I know Dodge campus also has like an actual like parking garage as well that they have areas in. Yeah,
Yeah.
so within that parking garage and everything like that, it's all covered, all of that stuff there. So
So
yes,
is there a difference in the pricing?
nope, they are all set as 286. Don't quote me.
Oh wow. I mean, is it like a first come first served kind of thing? Like what
It
if on
is.
the winter season everybody wants to compete for a garage?
So yeah, with that, it's all 286 for the year, regardless of what permit you get.
Oh,
So
so we have enough number of garages, is that what you're saying?
well, so with that, it really just depends on like which one you're in. So I know your student is in Crossing, so then
Yes.
they'll have the garage access.
Oh,
Does that
good. Okay,
does that make sense?
that's my
Okay.
default. Okay,
Yes.
that makes me feel
Yeah,
better.
no problem. Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much.
no
And
problem.
you said that when you talked about the tours, is that are you talking about an in-person tour or a virtual tour? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I linked the virtual tours and I can kind of do that again just in the chat. But if you want like an actual physical tour, we do those too.
Okay,
Um,
good. So I
yeah,
can call this number. Okay.
yeah. We'll definitely help you
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So yeah, my daughter doesn't want to walk with me, so I will probably take a tour myself.
I love it. Yes, you got to know where she's at. Totally understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I'm done with my questions. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Well, thank you for your time.
Mhm.
All right. I know we have a couple of questions in the chat as well. Uh, Did I show the Mav card slide after that? I'm trying to figure out where I left off. I am so sorry, guys.
I don't think you did.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Someone direct messaged me if they missed like a housing session. How do they get that information? Everyone should be getting their like roommate information, roommate placement by the end of this week. So should be good, and just keep looking in your email.
So I have another question on the housing.
Yeah.
So if you put that you wanted the payment to be part of your account, how does that money transfer? How does that work? Because I keep checking the account. I feel like I have August in my head that you're needing that money,
Sure.
and I'm not seeing anything. Do you send an invoice or?
So it really just depends. So, I guess let me ask you, did you decide to place your housing on your Mavlink account, or did you decide to pay directly?
No, I did it with the Mav link. So is
Perfect.
that the Mav card?
So Mavlink, posting it onto there, your student has access to their Mavlink account. That's where
Yeah.
they're going to be able to enroll in their classes. That's going to be where they have all of their tuition and everything like that due as well. So on there, they'll be able to see like their outstanding balance, anything like that, and it'll all be posted on that student account. Also with that, they also have the financial aid, scholarships, grants, loans, anything like that also goes through the Mavlink account. So if you chose your Mavlink account, it should be posted on there. So I would recommend maybe looking like specifically for that balance on there.
Okay.
If it hasn't been for Scott Campus, let me know, because I believed I've posted all of them, but who knows, I could have missed you, so I'm sorry.
No,
So
that's okay. I looked, this was probably, we were in Omaha just
Sure.
doing orientation a couple weeks ago, and he had it up and I didn't see anything.
Sure. Yeah.
So maybe it just was timing. So I'll have him go on there tonight and look.
Awesome. Yeah. And if you still can't find it, you just email in and I'll double check it from my end, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Okay, let's see. So I have, what happens if a student loses a physical key? So the physical bedroom keys, it really just depends. I think I'll speak for Scott Campus, Tamaya. I'm not sure if you like charge for like lost keys or anything like that. If you lose a physical bedroom key, our maintenance does have to like create an entire new copy of a key. So there is like a bedroom fee there. I don't know about you though. I think you're muted.
Thank you. Yeah, if a student loses their key, there is a $250 record charge. So that will be added to their account in the event that they need to replace the key.
We live on Scott Court. What buildings would I be able to park by? PKI, etc., or is it only the area by my dorm building? So for Scott Court, you have a Scott Court surface lot that you're going to have like key card access to. It's right by your dorm building. So yeah. Does Dodge have a buffet style cafeteria? Did you already answer that one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, Dodge Campus does not. Everything is a la carte, so you kind of go in and buy like individual items. There isn't a buffet option on Dodge Campus. Taylor, can you talk about the buffet style option you offered?
Oh yeah, I got it. Not a problem at all. So for Scott Campus, for our prepaid meal plan, we do have a buffet style cafeteria. So that's our Scott Cafe. And that's where you can just grab a tray and get as much as you want when you're sitting there for that meal plan. So, yeah. Probably stay on for like a couple of minutes here. Just make sure to get all your questions out. Feel free to unmute at this point. You know, I'd love to chat. Otherwise, leave them in the chat below. I give it a couple of minutes.
If you don't see your loan, that you heard from the loan place that you're approved and they're waiting for the school, but you don't see it in your MAV, which office do you call? Is there like yeah, what office?
I guess maybe for you, it maybe depends, but I think the best person for this maybe would be there's two offices that are my saving grace and were when I was a UNO student. It was going to be the UNO Financial Aid and Support. They normally have answers just regarding all of that. And then also UNO Cashiering and Student Accounts. They normally have the answers or know exactly where to go. I'll provide links to those, both of
Okay.
those offices, down below here for you.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Of course. So there's the cashiering and student accounts one. All right, and there's the financial aid and support,
Thank you.
of course. Probably stay on for like 2 minutes. You feeling good about that, Demaya?
Yeah,
Awesome.
we can do
Love
2 minutes. Did I glitch out at some point? I feel like I thought it was you, but it must have been me.
No, went in and out. So
Gotcha. That makes sense.
that's okay. You
Because then
know,
it kicked me out, and I was like, "Oh wait, did Taylor still crash?" But you were still up. I was like, "Oh, that must have been me."
oh yeah, we're all good here. I'm using, I borrowed Sarah's Surface, so mine doesn't pitch out.
Gotta love the technical support.
No, right? Awesome. We'll probably give it 1 more minute here. If you have no more questions, we appreciate your time and thanks for coming.
Yes, thanks for coming. Is it crazy that move-in is less than a month away?
I know. I know. I can't believe it's the end of July.
I
I
can't
just looked
either.
around the corner and I thought it was May.
July flew by.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording.
Love it. Yeah.